Just celibacy on its own won't create pressure inside of you, enough compression inside of you to push the Kundalini up, to make that boil, to increase creative potential. Because if you're celibate but you're frustrated, if you're celibate but you're having all sorts of thoughts in your mind, then that celibacy is of no use. Abstinence is of no use. But you can practice that. You can start in short blocks of time. You can go 40 days, 50 days, 60 days, and eventually increase it, and you'll find that you're going to be a lot more revitalized. Now, why do we say that, provided this celibacy now is a celibacy that is refined, pure of mind, pure of ego, pure of any conditioning around any sensations that our body has. We are all biological. Our physical house, our home that we are living in is physical in its nature, and it will do what nature has intended for the survival of its race. For us to continue, we procreate. Now, when we don't procreate and we don't wish to continue with the race, or we wish to evolve, we wish to know more, we can still procreate, but we can utilize this energy, this high level of Shakti that is capable of producing another life. We have so many cells, we have so many different parts of us, but that is the only one part of us that is able to produce another human being. Now, imagine how much power there is in that. So when you exercise abstinence, celibacy, we say that even in a marriage where you have another, you can draw the same celibacy into the marriage, as long as, again, in that marriage of the union of the divine masculine, divine feminine, or pure masculine, pure feminine, but you're in your essences. When that comes together without any ego, without any conditioning, and for this divine union, that can be compared to then being a celebratory union. A union devoid of mind, devoid of ego, devoid of any pre-existing notions or concepts that you have about this sensory experience, thereby making it an experience that opens another dimension. Which is why, if you're able to exercise a certain degree of control that is conscious, and you know the techniques of drawing your energy up, you can then access other parts of you, other parts of the universe, other parts around us that are there. These portals are there. You harness that to know more. You harness that to increase your own creativity, whether that is to do with art, music, poetry, could be anything. You can be somebody who's a business person and you want new ideas, you want to innovate. So when you abstain, you increase your creative power. Now, that creative power ignites that pressure, it adds to that compression. How it would work is when Shiva and Shakti come together in union, but they do not climax, because it is in that divine Leela, that divine sport, and holding that, that creates that fuel that you need in the cauldron of Kundalini to push it up. you keep that height just before, because otherwise you lose it. You lose the momentum, you lose everything that you've been building. So it's a bit like you've been meditating. So you use sex as a meditation, it's a tool, but not when there is mind. When there is mind, you will have images, you will have conditions about it, you will have ideas about it, how it should be, what should happen, and there'll be limits to it. There'll be limitations about your own experience to that. And this is where the whole concept of twin flames, Ardhanarishwar, us having a counterpart that's the opposite. Yeah, and one of the preconditions of that is what? Is when you have worked through your ego and you enter into the realm of unconditionality. And you can compare it to the love that Rumi, the Sufi saint, felt for the divine, for Shams. So that kind of twirling and whirling in that ecstatic dance, that's what we want to create. It's that losing yourself. That is also a kind of sex. But it is not the kind of sex that we are conditioned to believe that it is a physical experience. But it is in fact not a physical experience. It's an extrasensory experience that has the potential of opening other portals, opening other dimensions that you can dive into. But there is a lot, well, you can call it work to be done, or there is a lot of unpicking of where we are, so that we can remove the conditioning of all of this. And then you become one. When Kundalini is awakened, from the stir, you then reach an awakening. From an awakening, there is a rising, and eventually it is a fully blown Kundalini. Now, it isn't a case of, oh, it's gone up now and that's where it's going to stay. No. That process of going up and down, it will carry on. And you will feel all of this throughout the course of you. So when you are in that holy communion, either with another or within you, it is through that holy communion that you can find that black hole. You can find the void. You can find the shunya. Because you're reeling back. You're going to ground zero, where there's nothing. The compression is built through that what appears to be a sensory experience is amplified. And this is where some of you complain about painful ecstasy, that it is so pleasurable that the pleasure turns into pain. That the height of joy is so intense that it becomes painful. You see, you are able to experience that level of intensity. So when you have this intensity building up, and you can build it up through breath work, through your meditation, but when you include all of this, if you're with another person, then this transforms, transcends, and takes you to another realm. When you meet another, that is able to trigger out of you all the conditioned existence, all the conditioning. And this is where we say that some of us have had a triggering of our Kundalini through coming in contact with somebody who is awakened, either through Shakti part, Mahashakti part, or through another person, intentionally or even unintentionally. Yeah, when that happens, it's like two magnets. When one is stirring, it will be attracted to the other and it exit out. It's like holding a magnet. So if somebody is awakened and you feel, you see, out the hands, every part of the body is pulsating all the time when you experience this awakening rising and you're in that state. There'll be heat, there'll be a cool wind over your head. That is for another post. Yeah. But for the purposes of this, sex, celibacy, marriage, you can have all of that, but you need to know how to use that Shakti that is inside of you. Now, those of you who come closer to your Kundalini rising, a lot of you who even experience Kundalini awakening, your existing partners or your relationships will completely break down. They'll break down because if they were a relationship that was born of ego or mind or past conditioning, we know that in a spiritual awakening this will break down. In a Kundalini awakening this will break down because the Kundalini awakening is only going to amplify your consciousness. But when the Kundalini now awakens and has passed certain meridians, certain channels, and especially when it is now coming closer to union, now this is where so many of you are going to come back and say that you can't stand physical intimacy for the sake of physical intimacy or being physically intimate with somebody or engaging in that union unless it is Holy Communion, unless it is a communion that is going to bring you that much closer or open portals. So even the kind of sex that you want to now experience is Supra sex. Because this is where you are now, the Shakti in you is rising towards the Shiva and you want to mimic that experience in your physical world, which is why when you want to know where your Kundalini is, you see yourself in your everyday, how your life is talking to you, yeah, how you are talking to it and engaging with all of what you are constantly creating. That's when you know, where am I? Where are we? Yeah. So sex is something that is happening all of the time. Look around you, the flowers, the plants, everything. It's all creation all of the time. But when we temper it, because you see, we have been given a mind, we have an intellect. So we created all sorts of projections and all sorts of conditioning around what sex is. And then it lost its value. It lost its efficacy of getting us to another point. Actually using that union for us to access. And so there was also then the whole twin flame. Twin flames is not really a concept. It exists, but it may not exist in the way that it may be taught or may be spoken about. But it is there because it is a mimicking of our Kundalini's journey from Shakti to Shiva. When you get to Shiva and you then merge, because Shiva is just a manifestation as well as is Shakti, then they merge. Then you merge into Parashakti, then into nothingness. There is nothing there. And it is to access that point, and not just that point. Before we access the void, or before we even access any of those things, you will find that the deeper you're getting into this, one of the other dimensions or portals this opens to you is you'll find that you're just thinking and it happens. You're creating and you're creating at the speed of lightning. Your power of what they call manifestation, it's manifold by this stage. Yeah, and you've not done anything. You've not visualized, you've not done anything. Before you even get a chance to think, your body is already experiencing something, or you're already sitting in a manifestation. And when you go into deep meditation, you could probably even see when this was being mapped out and why it is being mapped out, folks. So sex is a great tool if used in a way that makes you celibate. Yeah, so celibacy and sex can be experienced in their end. As long as there is no mind, there is no maya, there is no illusion, there is no conditioning, and there is no association with sex. Yeah, there are schools of thought which we've spoken about, but I've touched upon this very briefly, whereby there will be the opposite sex that are offered to various people, sadhus you can call them. They're those that are in the Shakti cult, for example, yeah, just for them to reach a state of arousal. And then you maintain that state of arousal. But you maintain that state of arousal not depending on a stimulus. Eventually there is no stimulus, but you're always in that state of arousal, which is what is constantly making you create things without you lifting a finger. You know, it's just there, it is coming out. Yeah. So folks, this beautiful potential you have to create another you, to create another human being, stop wasting it. You can choose what you do, and you can choose wisely. So when we inculcate a level of celibacy within us, it really opens portals, and you'll find that you naturally become celibate, even in a marriage. And that is not to say that you're abstaining from intimacy, but you're abstaining from the mind, the illusion, and the conditioning around what it is to experience yourself in the other, what it is to experience a total surrender in one another, experiencing a beautiful divine union where you really do become that one. And that's why they say two becoming one. Shiva and Shakti, Radha and Krishna. Were Radha and Krishna married? There was a story. Krishna said to Radha, let's get married. And Radha said, marriage is only between two people. And we are not two, remember? We are just one. And Krishna said, for the sake of this sport, where we currently present as two, let's get married. And so they did. And there is still a place. And so the story goes. So it is that conscious marriage that happens even in a celibacy. Sending you so much love.